welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I am starting my 100-day project, and um, while I was thinking about what I wanted to do this year, I'm still trying to keep it small, and I did abstracts 2 years ago based on something I picked up in nature, and then last year I did collages based on landscapes, and I've been seeing a lot of people do like grid abstracts. So that kind of affected my thinking about what I wanted to do. I don't really consider myself good at abstracts, but maybe after 100 days, I might have an idea of what I should be doing when creating abstracts. Um, so these ones are super busy and they're inspired. I decided The Secret Lives of Color was going to be my guide for what I use and how I create these collages. So there's different sections, and the first section starts with white, and there's 10 different sections. So I figure if I do 10 different sections in 10 different days, then I will have all 100, right? So the first section has lead white, ivory, silver, whitewash, isabelline, chalk, and beige. Now, I don't have colors named that, or, lead white um, you don't use anymore. Isabelline's gone out of style. But I'm using the colors based on the description of those colors, and hopefully, you know, it'll be similar. um, but yeah, I'm just pulling out stuff that I have, like bits of paper that I've created, like that I just set down was a little bit of Mamagami that I created from a magazine. And it's got a little bit of shimmer sprayed on it. And then I have circle stickers that are they're photographs of ceilings of, I didn't write down the places. I mean, I did it on a trip. So there's palaces and cathedrals and whatnot. So the ones that fit the color, kind of, are the ones I'm going to use. So that's why those are in there, where they came from. And just random bits of paper that I thought fit the theme. And of course, we're starting with white. And I might quote a little bit out of the book. Like, I hope you don't mind. I hope that's not a problem. But like it says about white, because of its link with light, white has laid deep roots in the human psyche, and like anything divine, can be simultaneously inspire an awe and instill terror in the human heart. um, and you can't create white by mixing other colors together. You have to use a specific special white pigment. And so back in the day, when they were trying to create a white, they experimented with all kinds of things. One of them being lead. And, in here somewhere there's a description of how lead white was made. Now, lead white, they had come up with other whites, but they were more expensive. Lead white was the cheapest white paint. And it's so lead white. Let's see. There's a description from about 2,000 years ago. It says strips of lead were placed in a compartment inside a specially designed clay pot that was divided into two. So the lead was put into one side, and then vinegar was poured into the other side. The pots were then surrounded with animal dung and placed inside a shed with a tightly fitting door for 30 days. So, yeah. during that time, a, a simple chemical reaction takes place. Fumes from the vinegar react with the lead to form lead acetate. And as the dung fermented, it let off CO2, which in turn reacted with the acetate, turning it into carbonate. Um, Similar processes used when making verdigris, which I don't know, maybe that's in here somewhere. I don't know. But after a month, some poor soul was sent into that container to grab the pieces of lead, and now they're covered with like this puff pastry like layer of white lead carbonate, which was ready to be powdered, formed into patties, and sold. So that's what they used. And you know how lethal lead can be. And they used it in makeup, and they used it like on multiple continents. Like it wasn't just, you know, in China, because the Japanese women had the white face paint. It was also in Europe. Um, so yeah, I thought that was really interesting about lead white. And they talk about ivory too. I mean, we think of ivory as a color, but actual ivory has led to the almost extinction of a lot of different animal species, which, it's crazy to think of. I think my grandparents had something. I think they had ivory handled silverware. It was very old, very, very old. And then another color that is going into this combination is silver. Now, the color silver can be used to evoke the future or space travel or progress. Steel has a silver color, and then like in space movies, the corridors and everything were all made out of silver or metal colored, whatever. But originally silver was from mining, and there's a story in here, or a legend, and I don't know if I can say the name, but a peak in Bolivia called Cerro Rico de Potosí. Its attraction is not its size, but the fact that it is riddled with silver mines. And according to tradition, the secret of the silver in this mountain was discovered by a poor local man while out searching for a lost llama in January of 1545. Diego Jalpa built a fire to keep the chill of the alpine night at bay. As the fire burned, the ground beneath it began to ooze liquid silver, like blood from a wound. Can you imagine? I mean, these are just legends, but isn't that funny? I think of the gold rushes in California and stuff. Everybody was seeing stuff that sparkled. I found myself I found a few bits of fool's gold, but that's about it. Now this scripty paint I'm putting on here is super old, and I'm trying to get it to come out, but it is my silver. So I'm just doing a little bit of the what is it called? The unreadable writing. For some reason it has skipped my mind. But yeah, you see me struggling with it. One of these days it's going to come out in a big glob right in the center of the page. Oh, and I have some ink. It's called Wedding Dress. So I thought I would try stamping that, but it works better on darker surfaces. and doesn't show up so much on white. So, but it's in there. If you look closely, you might see it. And then I've recently been playing with my gloss sprays that don't actually spray, and this one is white from Dina Wakley, so I figured I would sprinkle on have some white splatters going on there. There are a couple of more colors in the white. The one was whitewash, and I don't think they taught this in school. Okay, I wasn't that good at history. I mean, I liked history. It was interesting, but I couldn't remember dates. So I would think I would have remembered this if I'd heard it. But whitewash was a cheap paint made from a mixture of lime, which is crushed and heated limestone, and calcium chloride or salt combined with water. And that was used like in 1848. Britain was battling waves of influenza and typhus. They would use that paint and like as a cleaning thing to whitewash, to disinfect like whole buildings and streets and stuff during plagues and everything. They would whitewash. It was estimated that using it to paint a whole tenement inside and out would cost 7 pennies. 5.5 without the labor. So that was in 1848. I wonder what the value of the dollar was in 1848. But, yeah. It does the job, but it tends to flake off and has to be reapplied every year. And, yeah. I guess that's why the term whitewash came to mean cover up. I mean, I have heard it that way. I just didn't realize that whitewash was to disinfect. Thought that was really interesting. So here is my first set of 4. Kind of lift it up. So just going to glue that little teeny piece down. Try not to get the glue on the border. I am doing 8 in each video, 8 days in each video, and I am doing them in bundles of 4. I'm still crafting every day, and that is the reason for the 100-day project, is to get you to do something every day for 100 days. I am still doing something every single day because I'm still working on my scavenger hunt, which is 100 prompts, and so I'm doing these both at the same time. So, I could just do one piece, but I love having 100 little pieces of art in a series. There's just something so cool. If you've never done it, you should give it a try. You don't have to start it when it officially starts. This is just something to motivate you to do something, and to have like a set of something, like a collection of 100 pieces of art that you've created, even if they're small, it just feels really good. Like, it really does. After I completed that first one, I've been gung-ho every year. I thought about it for years before that and never started, thinking that was just too much to do. Now, if I did like a full-size painting every day for 100 days, I don't think I could maintain that. Just because, we all have lives. And if art isn't like your job, and I may have a YouTube channel, but art is not my job. Art is my hobby. And I go to work every day. Well, ever since COVID, work is in the other room online with my company, but still 8 hours, and it's a busy job, so there's no There's no break time for art. Art happens in the evenings or on the weekends. Anyway, off my um whatever that was. The other color was Isabeline, and it was named after Isabella Clara Eugenia. And there's some sort of story, it's never been proven, that she was waiting for her was it a fiance? Sorry, it's been a few weeks since I read this. Was at war, and she swore not to change her linens until he came home. Can you imagine what color that is? It's that square in the upper left-hand corner there. No, just kidding. Anyway, it was her husband. Began a siege of Ostend. Isabella believed the siege would be short-lived and vowed she would not change or wash her underwear until he won. Anyway, so yeah, that is a really probably pretty nonsensical, and yeah, I don't think I would have appreciated that if I had been told that. Alright, so one of the other white colors. I know I've added a yellow. I am transitioning into yellow because I was thinking 6, but it's really 10. So I had started to transition to yellow, but I shouldn't have. So I do put white in all of these too, and yellow. We'll get to yellow. But I think, is it the last color? No, there's two. There's chalk. And I think of chalk as white. And chalk is nanofossils, one-celled sea creatures, formed from marine ooze, it says, largely consisting of one-celled algae. They form a sediment on the ocean floor, and when compounded over millions of years to create soft calcium carbonate rock. So that's, and it says, the deposit over the south and east of England responsible for the White Cliffs of Dover. And northwestern Europe, it was quarried in great blocks that are left to weather, which helps separate out any chips of flint. The stone is then ground underwater, washed, and left to settle in large vats. When drained and dried, separated into layers white. Anyways, it's just interesting. So, there's how you make chalk. Yeah, as chemist and colorist George Field said that it's used by artists only as a crayon. Yes, I use chalk when I'm drawing something out that I want to. Well, actually, I use charcoal. I have some white charcoal. Chalk would work when I want to draw something out that I want to be able to wipe away later. Chalk works great. Oh, another one of the colors, the last color in the whites section, is beige. And that's sort of they consider beige kind of a boring, it ended up adopting a boring sort of history, I guess. And it's always used as something to put something else upon to make other colors look better. Anyway, so that's white. I don't know. Do you like the narration? I hope so, because I'm recording this in advance of when I'll be publishing. But if you don't like me telling the stories out of The Secret Lives of Color, let me know, because I'll stop if I get people saying, don't do that. Just tell me what you're doing. You don't, I mean, you can see what I'm doing on here. That it needs no description, right? When I started doing these collages, I was thinking, okay, now Dina Wakley, when she does her collages, there's one big, one medium, and one small piece. Yeah, that didn't happen here. Maybe I should read a book on abstracts. I don't know. But I sure am having fun creating and introducing a little bit of yellow. I've got some Naples yellow in there. I haven't read... I started to read yellow, but I haven't made it to Naples yellow. And then I have a bright... It's lemon yellow by Hippie Crafter. And then like a medium yellow that end up on these pages. Just wait for the next section, because I'm transitioning out of the white. I do a little bit of white, but really getting into the yellow colors. And yeah, looking forward to some more color. The white was really hard to photograph. My camera just did not want... I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to the black and browns and charcoal and stuff. Those will be really dark. We'll go from really light pages to really dark pages. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, I think it's got a little ways to go, but I hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you're inspired to pull out something and just create. You know, you don't have to be like this perfect artist. I am not this perfect artist. I just like to explore and to play with things and see what happens. Find something that inspires you, that makes you want to create. Like this book, it's interesting. The Secret Lives of Color by Cassia St. Clair. I'll link it down below. It is an Amazon affiliate link, but doesn't cost you anything to go there and look at it or buy it. It's not extra for that to go through my link. But if you're interested in the book, I think there's another one about color too, which I have not got. This one was the less expensive one. I can't remember. Somebody mentioned it in a video, and that's why I got it. I was influenced. But just find something that sparks something, and create a series around that idea. You don't have to do 100. It's just really cool when you have 100 finished things in front of you and you're like, I did this. Anyway, let me know how you liked it. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Love to hear your comments. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.